Regino Sainz de la Maza was a great guitar player, born in Spain. I recently found some concert listings he did in 1917 when he was 20. And when I was working on my annotations for the history of the classical guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000, I had a lot of references. He first performed there in 1921. And as things went on, he had a change of how he was accepted. When he came to Buenos Aires in 1929, he had just done some concerts in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and he was already a recording artist for Odeon Records, having recorded a bunch of pieces in Spain, El Vito, etc. And strangely enough, when he played in Sao Paulo, he played in a theater and only the first 3 rows were filled out of maybe 50 rows. It was a very huge theater. I translated that information from a Ovilao magazine that came from the collection of Ronoel Samoes, who passed away, I think, about 12 years ago. Ronoel had even got a CD where he got to hear a Barrios piece that he didn't have in his massive collection. Ronoel was the guy that had 8 reel-to-reel tapes that in the mid-70s he sold to various guitar aficionados around the world, one of them being Terence Farrell in Carmel. And Terence is responsible for the whole world being able to get to hear all the songs of Agustin Barrios. They eventually went on to become a K. Rico Publications. Rico Stover did a LP about 1980, and then those moved along and became a part of the Chanterelle CDs that came out. I was involved redoing a discography, I think about 2009, 2010, updating the biography of, or discography of Agustin Barrios due to my own collection of 3 or 4 unfound Barrios pieces. Well, let's get back to Regino Sainz de la Maza. So he had a great reception initially, and I bought 2 archives from Ricardo Munoz, one in December of 1999, from one of his sons. He had 6 sons and 1 daughter. Ricardo passed away in 1967. And so I had 650 photos, picture of Segovia in a bathing suit, complete one-piece top and bottom. That's in the book that I put out. And then I got 7 unpublished books around 2010 from one of the grandsons of Ricardo Munoz. And I'm going to read the translated piece here. He wrote, this is from his biography in Historia Universal de la Guitarra, Volume 5, Los Contemporáneos, the Contemporaries. And it says, the weight of those accurate critics' judgments expressed, Sainz de la Maza was always no complete triumph. His first performance filled the halls, afterward a shortage. What happened with this good artist in Buenos Aires? In his aspect, his culture, sociability, his technique, his sensibility, sound, not what is pleasant, we will see, observing minutely in his person and art. He is a man of regular stature, thin, with a small mustache, of a modest aspect, and although of haughty features, he presents characteristics of the small town, dry and shy in his conversation and manners, of whom a journalist of the newspaper La Nacion on the 13th of October 1929 said, we found him dressed in a nondescript dark suit which mustn't have had a frequent visit to a iron to be smoothed out, and he was also wearing unpolished shoes. Can you imagine people paying good ticket prices sitting in front row looking at somebody with unpolished shoes? This is back in the day. We generally have shoe polishers You barely see them, but back in 1929, you probably couldn't walk a mile without seeing a shoe polisher and a chair. In those days, very common. Besides, he is one to clumsily walk, of long strides, to be in need of memory, to everyone point of forgetting with facility, the determined word with the suit will consequent obligations that not everyone tolerates or forgives. In a few words, he is ignorant of the two. The charm, marvelous attraction that God awards to persons in the life of the society, as to the sound of the fingers produced in the performance. Those respond in all of his personal and temperamental modalities. And I continue on. But this is from page 2075 of Volume 3, my 4-volume series of annotations of the history of the classical guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000. 21 pounds, 4 volumes. It's $300 plus tax. I do shipping included internationally, almost to every country. Japan, I just sent a copy to a guy that saw the 4-page review in July's copy of Gendai Guitar Magazine last year.